Welcome back to my channel, YouTube. My name is, I was going to say Still a Junkie 07. Someone commented that they remembered me from Still a Junkie 07 and they were surprised that it was me. They said my voice sounded familiar. You know who you are, so hey girl, hey. Oh my gosh. This channel is Dion Loves Makeup. Dion is my name. There's a whole backstory to this Still a Junkie name. But anyway, I call this the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube. This is cake batter chapstick. I picked it up at random. The Crazy Troll Nation because of things like that. I forget what channel name this is. Seriously though, the crazy, just enjoying doing videos, knowing it's okay to be yourself, even if you're having a silly moment, a sleepy moment, a goofy moment, a serious moment, just be yourself. And the troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand or a certain tool or a certain technique. And sometimes we may kind of feel that way watching videos because, well, if they did this and they're a big YouTuber and they're saying, I have to use this in order to get this result. Sometimes we really believe that. No, use whatever you want to use, whatever tools, whatever brand, whatever technique to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. I'm sorry for poking you in the eye, and I just did it again. So that is the concept of the Crazy Troll Nation. It's just self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them when you want to, if you want to, but never feeling like you have to, and just being yourself and knowing that you rock. I do curse on my channel sometimes because I do curse in real life sometimes. I think that's it for the intro. If you're new here, welcome. I appreciate you being here. If you have just recently found me again after the Still a Junkie 07 days, I am so glad that you found me again. I appreciate all of you. If you're my oldies but goodies, can't get much older than the Still a Junkie 07 days though. But if you've been here on the Crazy Troll Nation for a while with me, I appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you. You could have clicked on any video and you are here watching me, and I appreciate it. My brows are done with the Fenty brow pencil. I know my under eyes are funky. This is a Pat situation. The under eye concealer is too olivey for under my eyes. The foundation has an olive undertone. As you see, it looks perfect, and it works perfect for this area here. But under my eyes, because my under eyes does its own thing, but we're going to try to fix it later. And I do have one, as I said, the foundation and the concealer. I haven't powdered down yet. This foundation stays tacky on me for like 40 minutes. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm hoping by the time we finish the eye look, the foundation will be dried down, because putting powder over top of a tacky foundation is not good. And so I'm still just trying to figure out the right combination to get the foundation not to be sticky. Anyway, this is not a Pat video. I have an itch right here. We are using, yes, I have on my lab coat. I received this in my BoxyCharm Boost box, and this was the Boost item. And I asked if you guys wanted to see me try it. I never purchased it because if you've been here, you know I like dark or smoky or vampy or grungy or swamp water looks. This is none of that. And for me, sometimes pastelish type shades make me look ashy. And so I did ask if you wanted to see looks with this. And of course, yeah, we're here because a lot of you did. What I was curious about though was this shade, this one, and the top row. And so we're going to see. And I was looking at it today thinking, what am I going to do with it? And I think I'm going to do these two columns and these two columns. So one look on each eye, which I don't prefer. But it's almost 10:30 at night here. I am nocturnal. I just got up at like 7 o'clock. But looking at it in person, these two look the same. It's not looking the same where you are, but where I am, they kind of look the same. And on my end, these two almost look the same. And so we're going to do side by sides. We're going to do some layering because I want to see how this shade, how these two shades look, and also how these two shades look. So we're going to layer. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. You saw me just prime my eyes. You saw me put on chapstick. The brushes that I have out, which may change. But these are Esom V27s, because some of these shadows are her cream to powder, cream to creamy matte formula. And for me, they're best used with a dense brush. All my brushes are synthetic because I have a reaction to natural hair brushes. I have a lot of sensitivities and ivities and stuff. But so these are just short, dense shadow brushes. For the metallics, we're going to use the Fenty brushes. It says they're blending brushes, but for me, they're packers and blenders. And these are the number 220. So just sort of like a fluffy shader brush. And for our transition colors, we're going to use Esom V33, which are just, I guess, what do they call these? Blunt shaped blending brushes versus a tapered blending brush that comes to a point. Again, this is subject to change. For lower lash line, we're going to use the number 220 from Fenty. Some of these brushes, well, the Fenty ones are listed below. Just a pointy, tapered, triangular shape pencil brush. So it doesn't have to be these brushes, because use whatever tools you want to. And I'm trying to get in the habit of saying the type of brush as well as the name of the brush. So if you want this actual brush, you can get it. If not, just a short, dense shader brush. So that's why I'm trying to get in the habit of that. So the first thing we're going to do, oh, let me back up. Let me give you some information on the shadows. The top row, this might be challenging. Let me do it this way. And that's not going to blind you because I didn't take the protective sleeve off of the mirror yet. So let me see. This is a metallic. Actually, yeah, metallic, metallic, metallic. This is cream to powder. This is a metallic. And that's why I decided not to just do in rows, even though I'm most curious about this row, because they're all metallics except for this one. Again, this is cream to powder. This row, this is metallic, creamy matte, creamy matte, creamy matte, and this is a creamy matte. So we have the opposite. This is all metallics except creamy matte. This is all creamy mattes except this one is a metallic. The bottom row, this is a K, which I believe is Chroma Crystal. This is creamy matte, metallic, creamy matte, and metallic. So we have 3 different formulas in here, unless I'm counting wrong, which I probably am. Creamy matte, creamy powder, metallics, and chroma crystal. So we have 4 different formulas in here. I'm not a fan of chroma crystals in the past, but we're going to see. So this may just be, I don't know. I was going to say inner corner highlight, but I don't know right now. So we're going to take Lucy, and we're going to put this on the first half of the lid. And we're actually going to flip the brush over, since the shadows are not that different. We're going to flip it over and then take Faye on the first half of the opposite eye. So this is Lucy, and that's what that looks like. And wow. Okay, let me just keep going. I wanted to, this is creamy matte. They do look different on me than they look in the pan. I do really love the creamy matte and her cream to powder formula, because number one, they go on really creamy, they go on really smooth. There is some kick up in the pan. If that doesn't bother you, then it's okay. If it bothers you, it will bother you. I like them because, we're going to flip over and go into Faye. I like them because, for me, I put it on where I want to, and some people's complaint is that they blend away. For me, I put it on, I blend it, maintain the blend, and then just pack on where I want it, and I don't have to keep re-blending around the edges. And so that's why I like her creamy matte and her cream to powder formula. Again, they do look different on me and other people as well. Then they show up in the pan. Flipping back to the first side to come back over here. So, as I thought, they look slightly different as they do in the pan. This shade is this lid. This shade is over here. Well, here. So not much difference. You can tell that they're different. The undertones are different. But if I place them side by side, that might be a nice look too. Put this, you know, here, and then take this one, put over here, and then layer something else on top of it. So that may work too. If you're into just this type of look, this can be an easy one or done. Put this all over the lid and blend it. Maybe put this on outer corner, lower lash line, and your look can be done. So we are finished with that brush. We are now going to take Sage, this shade here, and we're going to put that over here. And we're going to flip the brush over and take Fringe, this shade, and put over here. Because again, we're using these two columns for this eye and these two columns for this eye. Subject to change, and if it does, I will let you know. So this is Sage, and there is a lot of kick up in the pen with this one as well. We're going to put that here. Surprisingly, my voice tone be changing. This does not make me look ashy. I think that's actually a good color for me. I wouldn't use it all over the lid except if I was layering, but for a blend out shade or for transition, I think that would work for me. So I'm wondering if this palette is going to surprise me. Her Trio Chrome palette surprised me because the pastel shades did not make me look ashy, and I thought they were. I still haven't used the bottom row shades, but the top and the middle row did not make me look ashy. I was pleasantly surprised. And I actually do like that palette because those are the creamy mattes and cream to powder formula. So this also is not, it's lighter than I like for me, but it's not making me look ashy. This I think would look nice with one of those metallics in the Circle Local palette. The real shimmery ones. That's not bad. We're going to flip over and go into this shade. This is Fringe. And we're going to put this on this eye. This also released around the same time. Now this is making me look a little dusty / ashy. This came out around the same time that Sydney Grace did a bundle. I don't know what it's called. I'm going to call it Mel's bundle. Mel had put together what she was hoping this palette would be, using singles from Sydney Grace. And Sydney Grace released it as a bundle after she passed away, which was really great. And I do believe some of the proceeds went to the family. Don't quote me on that, but I think it did. And so I was really just blown away. And even now I'm feeling like I'm getting teary-eyed because, you know, Mel was well loved in the beauty space, and she was a lover of Sydney Grace. And so for them to put out a bundle that she put together and sell it, you know, that meant a lot. And a lot of people were opting to get Mel's bundle, even if they had this one, and they compared her bundle to this a lot. And the consensus was the Sydney Grace bundle was better because it was deeper and it suited deeper skin tones, whereas I'm kind of in the middle of the spectrum. And so I can wear, you know, things that some people deeper than me are not able to wear and have it show up and look nice. But even among non-POC creators, they were like, yeah, Mel's bundle is the bomb. So these are not looking that much different. You can tell the difference, as I said, between these two shades, and you can somewhat tell the difference between this shade and that shade. So this one is a lighter, which it is, and so it did show up lighter than this one. If these are your tones, you know, go for it. I am sweating. I get really warm in this lab coat, and I do turn off the oscillating fan over there because it makes my voice oscillate. This concealer is horrible. Now we're going to take, I don't know what we're going to take. We're going to take, oh my gosh, we're going to take Maxi, first half of the lid, and we're going to take Jazzy, second half of the lid. I just want to see how close they are. I don't think that they're going to interfere over the shades we already have down. I don't think. So this is Maxi. So this is going to go here. Is that even going to show up over that first shade? Is it? I did not tap off this time. Okay, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know how that's turning out. We're going to flip it over and go into Jazzy, this shade here, because I want to see if they're going to look the same. Because to my eye, looking in the pan, they look the same, even though when I held up the palette to show you, they didn't look the same. This is interesting. I am thinking I want to try these on their own at the same time, though, because these are metallics. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like what to pair them with in here. So this is looking the same. So we're just going to take the brush and just go back and forth from transition area down to the lash line just to blend those two together. And and we're blending up top. You can tell there's a difference that this is lighter, but a smoky look. For the other eye, we're going to take Marlin, this shade on first half of the lid, and we're going to take Oz on the second half of the lid, because in person they almost look the same. Almost, but not quite. This is definitely a lighter shade. So we're going to start with Marlin. Oh boy. And that's going to go here. The reason I was wondering about just putting these on over the primer versus another shadow is to see if it would show up different over just the primer versus layering it. But I do really think the shadows are showing up true to pan, more or less, except for the creamy matte and the cream to powder, because this is what it looks like. So I don't think layering it is interfering with how the shade looks. So now we're going to go down into eyes, this one in the corner. We're going to just flip this brush over. So I pulled out all them brushes. I didn't use all 4 of the Eastern ones because I flipped it over. I'm not tapping the brush off because I want to get the color on as much as possible. Yeah, these colors are close in tone. Oh, I just felt the chunk fall off on my face, and I can't even look in the mirror in here because I didn't take the covering off. I want to see if I have a small mirror here, and I do. I don't see it on my face, which does not mean it's not there, because it really may still be there. I didn't tap off this time again. I'm not even going to blend in between because it looks like it's blended. Those shades are close, but we are going to just lightly blend up here. I don't know what I'm going to put up there. So that is that one. We're going to take, I don't know what to take. This is going to get funky, hence the lab coat. We're going to take Flare, and we're going to put that in transition over here. And this shade is a metallic. This one is as well. So do we want to take that one? We're going to take Flare. We're just going to do it because we're experimenting. And I'm just tapping the brush into it, seeing what comes up on the brush. And we're going to put that along that top edge. And I actually like that. So actually I'm going to just go in small circular motions to get more of it on the brush. And I'm going to put this right here. So as you see, you can put metallics in your upper transition area or in your transition area if you want to. Sometimes, for me, I did tap off this time. Metallics do blend out into a matte. I don't know why. We're going to tap in, and we're going to go in a small circular motion just right here on this corner. So really just kind of pressing because the brush isn't really moving much. And we're going to just continue to sweep that there. No. Tapping in again to put some right here. Not the worst thing I've done. You can tell the color differentiation. between that reddish shade and the lid shade. So we're going to put that brush down, and we're going to go into Evergreen, this over here, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to just tap into it, see what comes up on the brush, and same thing, put this in our upper transition area. That is all blending in the same. We're going to swirl the brush in it and do the same thing that we did on the other eye. This is very one-dimensional. All three of these shades, this, and this one, they all just blend in to the same shade, and I am not liking it. I need some definition, something. I'm not liking it. This one I like because you can tell there's different colors. So what are we going to do? We're going to take this inner corner. I am seriously sweating. Oh my gosh. We're going to continue on. My other eyes look horrible. So we're going to take Flutter, this shade here. I'm wondering also if I want to take this for under my brow bone for both sides, and I think I am going to do that. The Chroma Crystal ones are flaky, and so I am tapping off, and I am just pressing because I don't want the flakes to get into my eyes. And I don't know if the Chroma Crystal ones are supposed to be topper shades, so maybe we should top it and see, but we already layered. We already have 2 layers of shadow on both eyes. Trying to get it to show up like right here. We definitely need to do something with this eye because this whole thing is just one color. I'm not liking that. We are going to take this and put some right under our brow bone on both eyes. I like that. This eye I'm liking. I am seriously sweating. I am so hot, and not in a sexy way. So that is that. So what we're going to do, I need something, not need, but I want something for lower lash line as well. We're going to take Flare, and we're going to put that lower lash line over here. I'm not going to put a gel liner under here. It's still damp under here from the concealer, so it should definitely stick anyway. But we are going to put powders and stuff under here. I am liking this shade. I'm wondering if I'm going to use this palette often, because looking at these tones, because even looking at this eye, I'm wondering if I can do this with something else that I have, and I kind of think that I can. I'm going to lay it sideways just to blow it down a little bit. Initially I was just using the point. I do like that. So we're going to take another one of those, and we're going to take Evergreen, which I don't want to because everything is just looking just so monochromatic over here, which is great. Like if these are your tones, but you can just do a one and done look with one of those shades versus all 3, and then it still just looks like one shade. So it's like, why put that work into it if it's not going to look like you did the work? That looks nice under there, I think. So what I'm going to do, so we've used everything except these 2 and this one. And actually I could have took this for inner corner over here instead of that one. So these are the only 3 that we haven't used yet. What I'm going to do, my face looks horrible. This is so horrible. Excuse me, because this, I'm just like, what's happening? And it's still tackies. So when I put powder on, it's just going to stick. We're going to take the Xenon palette, and the reason that I purchased this one was to have these 2 shades to deepen. This is a deep gray. This is a black. Oh, what is what? Black is black. This is a creamy matte, cream to powder. This is Gloom. This is a metallic, cream to powder. This is mist, and puff is cream to powder. Okay, so creamy matte, cream to powder, metallic, cream to powder, and cream to powder. So we're going to start with a tapered blending brush, and we're going to go into this shade here. Forgot the name of it already. We're going to go straight in. I did have a plan to do a look with this palette, to do a smoky look, but I think, I don't know if I still am or not. I'm thinking now if I want to do it as a live, because I do want to start doing lives, and I'm nervous about it because number one, like trying to function on the phone while I'm doing the live, recording it on the phone. But the only way I'll know is when I do it. And so lives are something I want to do. It is something some of you have asked me to do. I am still not liking this. This is still that same smoke gray shade. I am not. It's just something about it. You know what? This blend is kind of weird. So I'm going to take this brush. And what color do I want to put there? Do I want to, let me look in the palette and see. Out of the three we did not use, none of these will go. So we're not going to do that. And I don't want to take another pastelish green type shade. So I'm wondering if I want to see what this does. We're just going to go for it. We have our lab coat on, right? I'm just tapping straight in, and I'm just going to press this right here. It's just something right here with this blend. Ooh, you see what just happened? All right, so let's do small circular motions up under the brow bone. This isn't right. Thumbs up if you're laughing with me, because I'm just, something with this blend just isn't right. Or maybe it's just the colors that I chose. Is it the most horrible? No, I do like it better having added this as transition, but it's still just not enough. It's not enough for me. I want darker, I want deeper, I want more dimension. And so what we're going to do, we're going to take Black is Black. Oh gosh. Some people compared this to, I don't know if it was Smoke Sessions or Smoke something from ColourPop. And when they did ColourPop on one eye, the Xenon palette on the other eye, the ColourPop eye was way more pigmented and smokier than this palette. And so a lot of people were surprised, like, I can get that with ColourPop? Ooh. Looking down here is a totally different view, because when I look up here, it's just like, whoa, wait, what? But I am liking it better because we have some dimension. It's not all just looking like one shade. All right, I'm just going to drag this over. I don't want to bring the black too far. I like it. I like it. I like this. I like this. I just, yeah. We're going to take this brush. I forget what shade. I'm thinking it wasn't this gray. I think it was this gray. And we're just going to do small circular motions. And then we're going to feather inward. Okay, I could rock with this. I could rock with this and put on a black liner, not anything funky. This eye I'm liking the way it is. What I kind of want to do still though, I want to, I'm going to leave it. I was thinking I want to take some of Black is Black and put there, but we're not. This eye I do now like. This I like because of the different colors. That's kind of my vibe. I am so shiny. I apologize, y'all. I do wish that I would have taken this shade here and put for inner corner over here. So I think I'm still going to do that even though we're layering again. And this shade is Palladian in the middle at the bottom. And I don't know why I didn't think to do that earlier. And yeah, we're going to layer. Ooh, and this one is a metallic, whereas this one is a chroma crystal. I like this for inner corner. I like that. Oh, that's nice. I like that. I don't know why I always say things like 3 or 4 or 5 times. I'm wanting to blow out lower lash line, but you know what? We're going to stop. So this I'm digging because it did get dark with the gray and the black. So I am glad that I did get this. And I got it on sale and there was points. And so I think I paid $17 for this. And I did get it just for these. And if I wanted to pop it, the shimmer. I'm wondering if I want to put that on the lid. Do I need to just stop? This is where I wish I can hear you. So I'm looking again in this one. No. Do we want to just put this? And this palette does look like it would be this eye. We're going to do it because sometimes I don't know when to stop. And this shadow is a metallic. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Let me put the brush down. Control, just stop. All right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to edit out putting powders on my face. I'm thinking I want to use the Haus Labs Lavender Blonde blush. I haven't used it yet, but I'm like, how is this going to look with these eye looks? I think it would look nice with this one. But we're going to do it because we have on our lab coat. So we're just doing all the things. So I'm going to deal with under eye. Hopefully I can deal with it and it looks decent when I come back. We're going to put on powders. This is still tacky. We're 32 minutes in and the face is still tacky. So we're going to under eye powder, face powder, figure out that do I want to do this on camera because I haven't used this yet. We're going to come back and do this on camera, this blush, and yeah, I'll let you know what I use when I come back. So what we do to the face, I know my under eye is still looking funky, and my conclusion is not to use that M18 Pat McGrath concealer under my eyes. Like this area is perfect, under eyes is not. The first thing we did, we used the Pat McGrath blurring under eye powder. We put this on, it just made it look worse. This is good for all over my face, and so then I did put this all over my face to try to help the under eye area, which you can tell it did not help. I then put dim light under my eyes. I used to use this under my eyes before and it was good for that, but over this Pat concealer, it didn't work. And so then I tried to put the radiant light, which also looks good under my eyes, but as you can see over this primer, it creates a lot of texture under my eyes. That ain't cute. That is not cute. So then I went back with the dim light because this is not radiant and put more of that under my eyes, and it just was not going to be fixed. And so yeah, so upper lash line, Fenty Fly Liner. The shade is Cause I'm Black. For our lower inner rims, we use Prime Pometics eyeliner, and this shade is, I don't know because it doesn't say, and I don't know if this stripe is black or is blue. I think it's blue. Yeah, it's blue. So that's on our lower rims. For mascara, for this eye, we use MAC Stack Mascara in Viva Violet, and for this eye, we use the one in black. And what else did I do? Bronzer. Oh, I also, let me back up, apologies. The Pat McGrath setting powder in medium 3, we put this all over. That's in here. It was hard for me to get the powder out of the mesh, and so I cut it open, and I had an empty Fashion Fair container, which has a sifter in it. Lovely. So this is the Pat McGrath powder, and I can tell the difference between the Fashion Fair one and the Pat one because the Pat one says Pat McGrath, blah, 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 blah. So that's all over the face too. For bronzer, we use Desert Glow, the Pat McGrath bronzer, because I needed, did I say bronzer? Probably. Bronzer, because I just needed something because my face just wasn't looking right. And also the Pat McGrath powder is too dark for me, and so I'm just having issues. I'm trying to get it right though, so I'm like, okay, since the face is looking too dark, let's do it intentionally. So I use this as a bronzer and as a contour, so that you see this orangey shimmer tone, that's the bronzer in Desert Glow. And for highlighter, since the under eye was looking so funky, I said maybe we can try and camouflage it with some highlighter. We used the Pat highlighter in Venusian Nude. So that's what this looks like. So that is this that you see right here, because I was just trying to work with this under eye. It just didn't want to be worked. So, and for lips, I just picked it up at random because I was just frustrated. And the first thing that I touched was the Fenty Glow Gloss Bomb. And it's not really a color on me. I just put it over chapstick. Haus Labs blush. Let's get into this. This is Lavender Blonde. I don't think it's going to go with this look, but we're just going to do it. I do like that her blushes, this will be my third one I have from her. They blend out well, but I don't know if this is a good tone for me. But I think this is a good tone for me. Oh my gosh. Wow. Also, her blushes can be built up a little bit too, but I'm not going to build it up. I like this with this eye look. If I had, I don't know, I was going to say like a dark smoky look, I don't know. But I do like this blush shade on me, and I do think it goes with this half of my face. We're going to see if it's going to go, and there's no kick up in the pan. We're going to see if it goes over here. This is a good shade. I was concerned because when I saw it, it looks deeper online. And so when I picked it up, did it come in the mail? I'm going back in, tapping off, even though nothing's tapping off. When I saw it, I'm like, okay, this is like very Lavender Blonde. And that's the name of it. I'm like, this is very lavenderish, purplish, pinkish. Let me know if it goes with this side. I don't know, but I do like how this is looking on me. What? And I thought to do a Pat blush since we had the Pat highlighter and the Pat bronzer, but I really just wanted to see what this looked like on me. So we're trying quite a few new things. The Retro Glam palette and the Xenon palette, both from Natasha, and this Haus Labs blush. So we've tried 3 new things in this video, as well as trying to get this concealer to work under eye, and it is not. So I will not be using that concealer under my eyes anymore, but it's perfect for here though. And so that'll be it for this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're excited about me doing a live soon. I will probably practice one late night. I will announce it though. It'll probably be afternoon somewhere on the opposite side of the world, because it'll be early morning here, meaning like maybe between midnight and 3 a.m. or something, just for me to practice and get a feel for it before I start doing lives where I really want all of you to be here. Well, as many of you as possible. But anyway, so this is the looks that we came up with. I really like this look. And again, that side was these 2 columns. This eye, I do like it, but it's looking similar to something I did with something else. This side I like, and that is these 2 columns. This side I like only after we went in with the Xenon palette and used this gray and this black. After that, I liked it. Prior to that, it was just too monochromatic. There was no dimension, there was no depth, there wasn't anything. I do like how all the shades did show up true to pan. Everything in here showed up true to pan. Yes, this did look similar to that one. Yes, this did look similar to this one. Yes, this one blended into this and that one, but they did show up. And so I know I would have to layer, and this on the lid was similar to this shade on the lid, and it was noticeable the difference between this shade and this shade. But it's not, they're not shades I would use on their own. Maybe to buff out lower lash line, maybe for blending this one, maybe this one for blending out transition. But on their own, these 2 on their own and these 2 on their own, I would not wear. And so that is why I wanted to do this experiment, to see how they looked on my lids. And it was a nice surprise that the metallics layered nicely over the creamy mask, and they showed up true to pan still, because sometimes when you layer shadows, it alters the top shade that you're putting on, but for this palette it did not do that. And also these did not make me look too ashy. This one did a little bit, this one, and maybe just because it's a lighter tone than that one. And so I am pleasantly surprised. We used everything in here except for this shade and this shade. And I would use these the same as the mattes for these looks. Put these down and then top it with something. And so I do see me getting some use out of this. I don't know how often, because my initial reaction, even seeing this, I'm like, it doesn't call my name. And then when I open it, the only thing that calls me is the top row and this shade and that shade. And so half the palette, these 4 shades and these shades, they don't call to me. So half the palette doesn't. And so I am glad that we did this today, because I guess I can go on record to say I am surprised that I was able to get looks that I like. Granted, for this side, I had to go into this palette for the gray and the black, but I know that I can work it. And that was the reason that I got the Xenon palette, was for this gray and this black, and it came in handy already. And so I do know I can get looks I like out of this. I would just have to layer. And so the question would be, do I want to have to layer when I have other shadows that I can just put on and not layer, and I get the pigmentation that I want? Because otherwise, if I don't layer, half of this palette won't get used. You see what I mean? And I do like to use an entire palette. So I will think on that. I am really liking how the blush showed up. I'm still unsure about the Pat stuff, but I am learning. And so I'm trying new things, different combinations, to try to get the products I have to work, and realizing what just will not work. So I'm learning what not to do. So in that sense, it's good. Let me know what you think about this look. And let me know what you think about this look, especially after we zhuzhed it up. So this is what we have for today. Thank you for being here. If you're still here, click the like button, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And I appreciate you. And you will see me soon. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Never forget that you rock. You will see me soon.